Okay, abusunya ebe mmakwa abasonko so edeba POG Media so. Yede meko political highway so highway ni de ensam bebre wo so ayen so ya Japan. Se be me abedwafo no ahu de eko ene de e ba na abusunya den na eko so our political highway so. Speaker, former Speaker of Parliament Mike Quaye ena HSN na so ayeshia enye asemketu akra. Attorney General friend Godfred Dame about expose now. Or say a year some years ago no a ruling be only or ruling unconstitutional. Says a ruling now ruling a comma NPP for ama NDs for AD or mankasa. Na Speaker Michael Quaye on also saying some way and obe confess or chese NDA waha NDs for be emra etwem chesena eye areho semi ankasa enti no sisi ano eye abam Bagbin ene eye Supreme Court nsensem na abam Bagbin declare for seat vacant no osre osre Supreme Court ono ne de na eye unconstitutional enti no abam Bagbin nhwe na jese ontoto nyoma yi opa abam Bagbin achewo enye asemketu akra na eye afanyoma akensen so no eniwu ede enigo nso de ono nso ogibi papa enye easy kwant no eye Supreme Court wo eho achiye ankasa Speaker, former Speaker your friend Mike Quaye wa confess here to say criminalities ene nyoma bia no ye bia no wodi ni na atudua to say NDC for nature say enka ono kra mpo no ono ofre no ho sofo enka yes enka by now enka owu every we are say international media so aba be expose ono Mike Quaye ni ya enye easy kra top USA journalist na aba bonten aba be expose ye be pese be me abidwafo no be me akona ya kwa kuti ensema eposo madam ase
Abada want say yes and the Supreme Court MP vacant seat saga. Supreme Court to give judgment Tuesday. That is Ochina. You better change Supreme Court for judgment, you know, because we also have to give judgment after Supreme Court's judgment. Makan Ogana ha. Makan se papa anya shia. Boni e friend boni anya shi. So unim se uhu so uni problema asembe dawa no aka so. That's how it works. Me say so unim say the onye boni dano onto bo embo Jacob. The onye boni dano onto bo embo Samuel. Me say Supreme Court for judgment in the bar. It will also determine our judgment. Nanka say and yes your judgment ba. Supreme Court judgment in ba ya yes your judgment in ba. Enti ye Supreme Court enim. Me din kan ma preamble no. And I gave names, locations, year won call for, location and time amanfo free amanfo fie. Divorce ni ade edin. Until we are also waiting for Supreme Court to give their judgment. We will also give our judgment right after Supreme Court's judgment. Se papa anya shia, boni a friend boni enya shi. Se bibia af asramon fere so beto hwene so a won friend saying. Also won fere se odi asawa betare so. Enti bibia ye dunu de. It looks like say I will say nyina ye hu fin. And you see my platform tomorrow after a judgment from the Supreme Court there will be Balthazar judgment. And everyone saying Balthazar judgment to follow. I will never say anything without facts. I will never say anything without pictures, video, facts. I would never do it. It's not in my interest to put out videos or pictures of anyone. Sometimes the actions of some people and a call for that. So that people will be clear on this, you know. And you're personal. We are all trying to set the record straight and to fix this country. Kokram Emfere se ebeto ohene so a also emfere se ode asawa betare so. After judgment, there's judgment. And this judgment is going to be heavy. It's going to cause a lot of mayhem. It's going to break homes. It's going to take, it might take life. It's going to end careers. Some people might not survive it. And sometimes, you know, yes, you're nipa yetenase, you're getting your baby home. I feel say, if this is going to happen, if I'm going to do this, it's going to be one of the most difficult things to do. But they say, nipa bi suban any actions na bechere omowie. I don't hate anybody, but some things have to be done, and they will be done. Let's wait and see what happens in the future. I'm human. I've also offended people. I've made mistakes along the way. But I think, say, baby, Agane do know. Some things are supposed to happen for us to know, say, no one is perfect in this country. And that we should all come to that realization and fix it chrono. It is tough. Some of the footages and things you will see, it will cost a lot. Now, there's a Supreme Court judgment near Ende in Ghana, and some at 12 o'clock into Ende. Let's wait and see how the judgment goes. Matisse, Speaker of Parliament, about US, how? Okay. Speaker of Parliament, so to me for me too. Sometimes I'll see, so be to me for. On to me for that. So measure say bet my try who Speaker of Parliament, maybe Obia or America, so about so bet to me for. Because I want him to advise me. Now, into end and a judgment, but there's something we need to also look at. It is possible it is possible Mike Okwe's ruling on vacant seat was unconstitutional. Ghana's Attorney General Ende Okache Ghana for say, Mike Okwe ruling me no ruling say. Independent Isiama ebetumi across the carpet any MPP for a business abra oba parliament as an independent candidate, you know. And the Attorney General of Ghana says, "Sir, ruling na Michael Quay ruling yes, a benefit MPP obumoku nipa asay economy area isika no." Attorney General Godfrey Dame catch and the aka 27 days yago to aba say, "Oh, unconstitutional." Most Akuffo when you abutra Aka 27 days near Kotuaba. Attorney General did not see anything wrong with Mike Okwe's ruling. Aka 27 days near Kotuaba no. Wababe catcher say, "Oh, sa ruling no de edi and famrim. It was unconstitutional, meaning it was illegal. Meaning Mike Okwe, adia oye no na eye boni na odi Ghana. Na ne ni da ho e na odi dwirim. E ma ne boa MPP for 8 years. Godfrey Dame aka 27 days me akoto aba no obeka kire say, "Oh, afa na wehu for 8 years Attorney General's office Akuffo Attorney General wehu ba ye ba be court no okwa defend afenyoma aken no okwa Chief Justice edim no oka kire say, "Oh, that ruling from this man was unconstitutional." So on say from the things we've said all these years, Attorney General and Michael Quay we mu no omunye penny papa omunye criminals. I've told you, Michael Quay, the little respect he had, he would die as a man who was not trustworthy. He would die as a man who never genuinely served his nation. He would die as a puppet. Michael Quaye has offended God because honestly, you're reverend. Michael Quaye sat in a chair as a speaker and did everything against the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, against our forefathers and against us. Michael Quaye is a very dangerous person to Ghana. He does not deserve a burial where honorable people will visit, because will attend. This man deliberately went against God. He would die as a sinner until he comes on national television to confess his sins. He would die as a dirty sinner. Mike Quaye. Yeah. The day he was pronouncing and telling Ghanaians to say, we should all go fuck ourselves. Nemo Siama can do what he's doing. No, this man knew it was wrong. And the Attorney General is telling us to say, yes, Michael Quaye's decision then was unconstitutional. Into Krobia Muank or some Michael Quaye, Kokopia China, Okopia Japan, Kebe Hangeno. Because the decision he took, amongst so many people have died. You know that. Yeah. And if the Attorney General knows that Michael Quaye took a decision which was unconstitutional, why is Michael Quaye working in Ghana as a free man? Because then it was deliberate. These Akuffo lookalikes, these Atakura lookalikes, are dangerous people. How can you live with this as a former Speaker of Parliament and as a man who basically carried yourself around as a reverend? How can you live with this kind of sin? You would die as a sinner. And not just a normal sinner, a filthy sinner who was used by politicians. It is terrible. That decision he took, it has destroyed this nation. Do you know Mike Quaye allowing a Siama to cross carpet to be doing that illegality in Parliament for 7 years? And then the Ghana be do how? Yes, because if Michael Quaye had not done that, Anka NPP in Kwasiade omuye taxes omo passing and come to me pass it. Sika omo wie nya come to me. But this man, you see the nam no so asuntu dia ebeba no onwie. This man would die a sinner. And you see, we are not even supposed to entertain this criminal Attorney General. He knows this. He has known this for years. But you see, today, he needed a reason to tell Ghana for say, that dog, after you're marking, backing, and insulting the speaker every day, no, he is trying to find a way to clean those dirty people up. So why don't we throw Michael Quaye under the bus? They had known for a long time from day one, the day Michael Quaye made that decision. Akuffo, the Jubilee House, everybody knew that the man was putting together a criminality. That was criminal. This whole parliament thing, it is not about the NPP. Me catch them last week. Or your post B or your post mukramai. After marking, all that he's doing is to his benefit. He just wants to be recognized. Fitting in Kwara Brim, he has tried everything to be recognized. Also, Okasa Otietium, he wants to be known. Ojina Toiletima, he wants to be known. Or Fanko Foyeria, he wants to be known. That has been his life. So when he got the opportunity to lead the NPP in Parliament, he has tried everything possible to be known. And you see, this fight he's fighting in Parliament, yes, this fight he's been fighting in Parliament, that fight, it is not in the interest of the NPP as a political party. Obviously, he knows that the NPP are stupid and that whatever he says, majority of them will follow him. But this whole thing he's doing is just for himself, or a selfish brat, or a political gbe. He's a political dog because he has limited that position to that point whereby people see an MP who is leading the NPP minority in Parliament as a joker and a fool who is ranting around all because he wants somebody to refer to him. He just wants a title. So government business not going on in Yano. Afenyoma can kwasi ampe where or say young friend or majority leader. It is not anything. For a week and over, Ghana, your government, a break here. Yenya government money more parliament, it is because a fool like Afenyoma wants to be referred to as majority leader. And no kwasi away. So you could see it is an inferiority complex thing. Now, when you listen to Afenyoma or Kasawa TV so now you could see that this guy is vague, this guy is stupid, this guy is childish, and there's nothing in him that shows leadership. This guy, even in his utterances, you can see clearly that he does not have a clear-cut position. Anything Chachuchi Katakachile Ghana for say. Now, let's look at the issues. Afenyoma Chachuka same way. Chachuchi Kata say, Afenyoma in his writ asked for an interpretation of only Article 97G. The Supreme Court had no reason to talk about 97H in its ruling. Afenyoma went to the Supreme Court for one interpretation. The Supreme Court was supposed to just interpret that to Afenyoma and say, go back. That's all. There's not supposed to be any crazy ruling about who is doing in Parliament, who is left or who is right, and which MP is switching. The Supreme Court or Sonomami was just supposed to interpret that. Article 97G, go back to Parliament. You are masters of your own laws. Go and make the law and interpret the law there. That's it. But you see, because of politics, Chachichi Katameabewu said the Chief Justice does not even know her job. And I told you from the beginning, that application of Afenyoma to be court the first day now, Onya ruling the first day, Yamnyan expert, it was cooked. The Chief Justice was doing him good. And in the rush for them to try and slot something in for Afenyoma, it came with a lot of detailing. There was an oversight. There were a lot of mistakes. And it shows how bad our court is now. How our court today take any document and judge on that document without even verifying the authenticity of the document. So our court has become like walking through a brothel or going through a gentle location. Any lady you see in pancake biano is a nice lady. Our court is not even taking time to look at facts. Our court is playing more politics than looking at facts to make judgment. So the Supreme Court now does not even consider facts again. Facts have been thrown to the dogs. Now, party affiliation is the most important thing in our Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court was not even supposed to look at Article 97H. Its job was supposed to interpret 97G and send the guy back. The Speaker of Parliament is not a kid. He knows the standing orders of Parliament. Parliament, every single person there knows the standing orders. They know how to interpret their own standing orders to make sure they run Parliament. It is not the job of or responsibility of the Supreme Court to tell Parliament how to run their business. Supreme Court can interpret a law. They cannot direct Parliament what to do. There's a difference. Interpreting a law and directing somebody. You can interpret the law. After you interpret the law, the direction is not up to you. It is up to Parliament to make its own directions. It is for the Supreme Court not to even look at these things and in less than 2-3 hours give up for Afenyoma what he wants. Means the Supreme Court, we need to look at it again. Ochina, we will see. You will see tomorrow. And tomorrow, the decision that will come tomorrow, it will determine the future of Ghana. So, when you listen to somebody like Afenyoma, today he is saying that I will never sit in the minority leader seat. It is not good spiritually. See how low they have brought governance. Ontina, baby, I saw ontina no adentra or say spiritually and yet na kwasia over Parliament na opapa dia kunya biswo. I heard him making an argument that something. When we went to Parliament, we saw that some people were sitting on our seats. And the question is, who in Parliament today, when going to Parliament, was assigned a seat? Nobody was assigned a seat. It's a gentleman agreement in Parliament that when people go, some sit here and some sit there. If you think that you want to sit with your group, anybody can choose a seat to sit on in Parliament. There is no rule to say, this group should sit here and this group should sit there. There's no rule in parliament. But you see, as gentlemen and as where we belong, majority of the time, when we come, we sit here because sometimes you want to talk to your group, you want to discuss something with them, and you don't want the other person sitting in your midst to hear. That is why the separation is there. But there's no law binding parliamentarians to say that you sit left and they sit right. Nowhere. So for a minority leader like Afinyomakin to be ranting and backing and insulting everybody because he wants something that we have not given to him. The question here is, are you entitled to any seat in parliament? So if you are not given the right or the left to sit, you cannot deliberate on government business. You are a fool. With Jimmy. So today you see him. Today you see him fooling around. Look, I am not the majority leader. Say it. Now, watch this video. I want to say, Ghana, you Jimmy to allow the NPP to lead. This is Afinyomakin. Very, very fully
ruling, but that didn't go in his favor, and now we've gotten to the point where the Supreme Court is expected to give some final ruling.
You keep making that mistake. I'm the majority leader. Stop that.
Yeah.
No, stop it. I will continue to correct you. Stop misreporting. I am the majority leader. Don't say no. Say it. You've been saying it consistently, and I've been correcting you. The court has pronounced. Stop describing me as leader of MPP caucus. You should know better.
So, Nana, there you have it. Alexander Penyomaki, I'm clearly not happy with the description, with the description that's been widely reported in the media as leader of the MPP caucus. According to him, he still remains the majority leader, and there's been no set project. There's been no set. Yeah, but yeah.
Young man, wait. For the purpose of education, the speaker made a pronouncement. The court has ruled. You have lawyers at City. I don't know your experience in reporting, but once a court has made a pronouncement to restore the status quo, don't say that I am saying. You, as a reporter, there has been 2 rulings confirming that. So don't continue to describe me as leader of MPP caucus. Is that okay? Don't tell the public that I am claiming and that you don't know what it is. Unless you don't know why you are doing court reporting.
I know why I'm doing court reporting.
No. So can you clarify?
Yeah, but I've mentioned it clearly in previous reports and in subsequent reports that you are the leader of the MPP caucus of the House. And even the Speaker of Parliament, you know. So, Nana, clearly, Alexander.
Is it a job of a journalist to interpret what court rules or the ruling of a court? If the court rules on a case, and after your marking, you took the Speaker of Parliament to court, and then the court rules on the case, let's say it's in your favor, is it a job of the journalist to interpret the court ruling? It is up to the person you went to court with, and it's up to the Speaker, who at the end of the day, court, say, Tia Speaker, if Speaker takes a decision, what decision the Speaker will take, because the final sitting of Parliament, what they saw as reporters was that Speaker declaring, say, NDC is the majority, right? So if I'm a journalist, a reporter, and I was in Parliament the final day, Speaker leaving Parliament, the last but one, our Speaker declares, say, the NDC is majority. And the last sitting of Parliament, when I went there was nothing from the Speaker's mouth. Say, the statement he made that he has not rescinded or he has not said, say, the NDC is no more majority. Me as a journalist or a reporter, is it my job to interpret what the Supreme Court has put out? What the Supreme Court has put out, it only takes effect when the person involved at the end of the day adhere to the ruling of the Supreme Court. It's the Supreme Court and make a judgment in that against Alban Bagbin. Now Alban Bagbin ain't take any step to adhere to the laws of the ruling of the Supreme Court. It is not me, the journalist. So as we speak today, why are you attacking a journalist? He is reporting what he has seen. At the end of the day, are you not the leader of Parliament, MPP Parliamentary Caucus? You are. At the end of the day, you are the leader of the NPP, the parliamentarians, their caucus in Parliament. You are the leader. So what's your problem? You just want him to say you are the majority leader. You are a twerp. After your way, Jimmy. These are the fools MPP parade every day. Anytime I catch them, say, this fucking fight he's fighting, it's not about you. The thing is all about himself. Ego. Also, no, the priority number one say, or ne amount for you no better. After your market, the Juma no. Or no, a draw or namusono. Enkofo yire. After your marking, obo careless. Enkofo yire nom the judge for near the ade. That is what he does. From day one, Mekache Ghana for African Markin is not making noise because of the MPP. African Markin has his own personal idea. He has his own personal agenda. And that was say MPP, no. On say, and the African Markin, a man kwasi afo de dinechi. One would say the party to be or MPP be dinechi. The only person about say, oh, defending African Markin Kede Japan. Honestly, be so about them. Kede Japan is defending African Markin because African Markin Kede Japan lawyer. And it's the MPP needed to be a say or to or defending African Markin because African Markin will name answer with Jimmy. Now listen to this. Listen to this one. Listen.
Any media house who needs clarification must seek clarification from the court. Stop describing the majority caucus as NPP caucus. Stop doing your headlines where you will say that Afenyo Markin, the leader of MPP caucus. Afenyo Markin is the bona fide leader of parliament. He is the majority leader of parliament. And MPP remains the majority caucus because our 137 plus the one independent, that was the proclamation by law in the House. And we've remained the majority caucus as such. I will urge you, the media houses, all of you should ensure that you contribute to this sanity because we need you. We need you. We need you. That's all I want to say. Thank you very much.
The basis in the Krampono is wrong because the Attorney General is even saying, that declaration by Michael Quaye was unconstitutional. Into what's your basis now? That thing you are basing on to say, you have a majority in parliament, The Attorney General today is telling you that it was unconstitutional. So where is your basis? Where do you stand? Where because one guy's lawyer opinion or say that decision Michael Quaye took was illegal. So what is making you think you are a majority in parliament? It's foolish. Me, I'm catching Ghana for guys. You see, after your market with Jimmy, Maka same way Parliament blame him. He's a fool. Onimunyansa. Or just say the French should be on Akuffo Supreme Court in tea. Or bet my baby Jina Ghana no Jimmy no. Yen Yamaho Quaye. Your basis, Adia Ujina so di Jimmy Wono. The Attorney General is saying it was illegal. So Diana Ujina so see Adeka say we are majority no. Your own Attorney General is saying it was illegal. So Diana Ujina so say we are majority. You are a fool. You have no basis. And I don't even know why the Supreme Court is entertaining this fool, if not for his relationship with people in the Supreme Court, beyond what we see. Anka eden nkedruha, edi enkwasi asam no. Enti asu ebufune de won ye de ko abontene a, hwan na be pia abontene. Hwan na betuma akoso ne kunumu, hwan na betuni akoso ne yirimu. Hwan na betuma aye bold to go out with their children and their families. When we get pissed off and become dirty, ne akase ye de bibia gu abontene a, hwan na betuma akase opanyini wo Ghana. Is there any penyini wo Ghana? Mumia nja nkwasi asam ne ye no Ghana no. We need to stop this nonsense. It is getting out of hand. Debiano pebi name namumpuano. Bese me ko hu krata ebio, ladies and gentlemen, akose Japan. Ye are ye de jinem.
Okay, abusia we ne ensema ekoso ewo political highway so Speaker Mike Okoye and international media ababe exposing the criminality sa enye asam keto akra ono na ama ensem we no ko echira enye easy kra Speaker Bagbin ene Chief Justice Torkornoo sa back and forth no ne nyinaa efiri Mike Quaye ni ruling bia o ruling ye no emre bia etwem na afei ena ni nyina eto adedia ye attorney general Godfrey Dame Krampo e ka se sa ni ruling na o ruling no na eye unconstitutional busia enye easy cry be dey abidafo asese omoje pene kokoti sa odiwe e de mai me da wase